sabay.
Tutora with a lot of power.
Alvarez going down the line, yes.
Us French people can also hit the ball.
Whoa, puts it down with authority. Mighty Pod rising to the challenge.
Tatiana sneaks it through.
Don't let Miguel see that.
Awesome hit, great play.
We all know what she can do with that second ball.
Simone has been a fantastic addition.
Back to Calais, she delivers.
Lindsay Stalzer has been on fire.
Molina off the block and all good. She wants all the smoke, and Catherine Bell with a game winner.
We live in anxious and interesting times, of course. We all know what's happening health-wise, but we play on with all the precautions in place. We have decided to bring the tournament behind closed doors for the safety of everybody. We'll try to see this tournament through in the days ahead, but we're all on alert. But what is interesting is on alert ang dalawang teams natin looking for their first win. Marinera, which is on the rise, up against Generica Ayala Lifesavers.
Exactly. And today, magbabago na nga. Somebody is bound to get that first W, that elusive W for their respective teams. Kaya silipin muna natin what they had to go through before they went out, before they got here. At unahin na nga natin ang marine life progress na pinapakita ng Marinerang Pilipina. You know, as we all know, this is a very young team. Pero maganda yung kanilang ipinapakita. When you look at the numbers or how that game against Santa Lucia ended, it ended in 4 sets. At dikit yung mga sets. Walang set na napag-iwanan sila. And even looking at the stats, the attacks, blocks, aces, even the errors, unfortunately, pantay na pantay lang. So obviously, this is not the same Marinerang Pilipina team that we saw in the past. Definitely a lot of improvement and definitely a lot more that we can see in the coming games.
Okay, the players just about ready to be introduced. Isa Chong is downstairs. Ay, salamat wala yung Sarate, wala yung Sir J. Ay, how refreshing. But first, very quickly lang, let's just talk about Generica. They're also in search of that first W.
You know, with Generica, I mean, looking at the attacks, or looking at their offense rather, maganda naman yung pinapakita nila. They're very consistent actually. But it's their blocks. Doon sila nagkukulang. Look at those numbers, 9 compared to 2 against Signal. At I mean, if you compare to the other skills, dun lang talaga sila napag-iwanan. So that's something that they could definitely improve on, definitely work on in this third game kung gusto na nga nilang makakuha ng unang panalo.
Parang walang problema, no? Si Rhea di makulangan, eh. You know. But you know what? You and I were chatting a few hours. Biglang naging 5 sets yung game previous to this, eh. Ang volleyball in its infant years, when it wasn't as popular, it wasn't on television, it wasn't the media spectacle it is today. Ganito ang volleyball.
Yes.
Family, friends, significant others.
And really, we would play it like from 8 a.m. in the morning up until in the late afternoon. At kahit walang tao, kahit sobrang, wala pang aircon nun. Wala pang Taraflex nun. But look how far
Pag-uwi, sasakay ng jeep.
Philippine volleyball has come.
Exactly. And I was talking to Bilet Ponce de Leon. Pagpasok niya, Bilet, tingnan mo, parang lang volleyball. Oo nga, wala naman diferensya yan. And Coach Roger Guerrero was so painful with that loss earlier. They had won the first 2 sets, but fortunately didn't pick up the first win in the win earlier. Alam mo itong, we did the last game of Marinera actually. And we sort of sensed that it was an endurance problem. Napagod eh, no? They kept going to Shutura. They didn't have anybody else to help along in the scoring.
Tsaka pagod na pagod si Chutura nun because they were only going to her offensively. Pero yung kalaban nila, Santa Lucia, kept making her a target, especially from the service line.
Okay, closed door, 5 sets, sige, tuloy. Enjoy kayo dyan sa mga kayo nanonood. Chutura with the first strike and the reverse set. And Soyud is there. There's the gift shot. Regalo. Meneses gets him Generica on board.
Good sense of control coming from Riri Meneses. Maganda na yung buwelo ng arm niya eh. She could have hit that really hard, but saw an opening again in the front line.
Sorry, Abil is starting today. She did not
Yes.
start out in the last game, and we get the second serve underway. Here's the attack from the back row. It's problematic and out of reach. I was listening to the interview of Chutura while we were preparing, and she was interviewed. And she does come from an athletic family,
Yes.
she's saying, and it was an interesting way. You'll get to see that future in the days ahead, and how she eventually got to the Philippines. The shot of Meneses is through Raslan as well as Bravo.
Well, this is a good start for Generica, getting their middles involved right away. This has been one concern of theirs in the past 2 games, kung saan wing spikers yung mas na puporsyento.
Earlier today, a come from behind win by Cheritigo against PLDT in 5. The setup job. Boyd, who played well the last time around. That shot is handled nicely. Back row, there's Mina Ganon. And we have an exchange of great digs. Abel, oh, missed it completely.
Good intention, not the right execution. Trying to go for that cut shot in zone 2. Dahil malayo yung depensa nitong Generica, but just not enough of a push coming from Abel.
Arado and Meneses reviewing strategy there. Mina Ganon will be serving. Hirap talaga yung ganun, lamang ka ng 2 sets. Ano?
Oh,
Masarap
yeah.
yung si Coach Roger was truly respondent in the hallway earlier. He said Campos tracks it down, sent into the air by Mina Ganon. Here's the shot from the middle. Bravo's attempt is parried away. Ganon. Oh, and Hana is out of position.
Chutura thought that Ramirez was going to get that ball. Ay, no, may taas ng kamay eh.
Which is the slightest movement creates a counter movement on the volleyball floor. Abel jumping high. Set up job by RD. Makalangan, and that'll work. Have you noticed on the side of Generica, there's no one hairdo. Everybody has a different do. And we have a timeout here. Time to, I think, sneak in.
Sa basic position natin. Yung base position, paano tayo babasa? Huwag mo muna siyang iwan kasi hindi yan magkukusa na kuha ng bola. Kumuha ka ng bola dyan, maraming magsiset. Pumalo ka lang, pabayaan may block. Bigyan nyo ng confidence yung spiker nyo na meron kayong coverage. Let's go, tara!
Cover tayo, cover tayo.
Basic volleyball right there from Coach Villet Ponce de Leon. It doesn't matter if you're the setter or not. Your first job is to defend that ball. Now, if you see that ball going all the way to the other direction, then that's the only time na pwede mong bitawan yung una mong posisyon.
Our producer, Jella De Jesus, is telling me to say the score. I don't see the score. It's 5-1. Tinatakpan ako ng isang speaker dito, but we'll try to keep track. We're trying to fix our graphics. Just acting up. Napagod sa 5 sets yan eh. In the meantime, Meneses knocks it down. It'll make it 6-1.
Again, Meneses with a soft tip, just targeting those open areas. Seeing Chutura all the way at the back.
Oh, they're taking advantage of the fact that Chutura is right there. A good eye there, Denise. Meanwhile, Mina Ganon is all set to continue serving. A good eye by the back row of MP, Marinerang Pilipina. And the service will belong to Colleen Bravo. You know, in the game in Bacoor against Cheritigo, they were beginning to play well. They won a second set there. Against Santa Lucia, they won a second set. Could not sustain it though, and they bungled their serve. Colleen has been having problems with her serve, actually.
Yeah, since the last game against Santa Lucia. Consistency really isn't there.
It is now 7 serving against 2. 7-2. It is Generica ahead. Abel, Ramirez, from the back row, and it'll count. Chuturan makes it a 3 against 7 count here. And we'll have Raslan serving.
On deck to serve, Susan Raslan.
Alam mo, ganun pag si Isa Chong nagsasabi. Nakayong dalawang pupunta rito, Noel.
Si Isa na lang.
Set up job, Ramirez. Abel, yes. She listened and followed the instructions of Billet, Ponce de Leon, in that last timeout.
Ang bilis ng adjustment. Set was quite near the net. And you can see here, may iwan na middle blocker dito, going for that cut shot with the right amount of push, right amount of hit.
4 is serving against 7 here. Kaming pa rin po ang Generica dito sa ating first set. And Campos' shot is long. That'll make it 5 against 7. Nanggigigil ng kapiraso itong kapunan ng Generica dito sa first set or first stretch to 8 points. Elizabeth Vicente Campos. He gets to it. Dimakulangan makes it a set. Solid shot in play. Ramirez chases it down. We've got a battle in the front line. And there's a big chase down. Back row attempt. Long. And that'll bring us to the first technical timeout at 8 against 5 in favor of the Lifesavers. Stay with us, please.
Malapit tayo. Pag dumadating yung bola sa atin, angat lang natin. Wala ka nang bablakin. Kasi buka na yung ano eh. Receive. Pag buka yung receive, yung middle, wala nang palo yan. Basahin mo, ha? Oo, ano ka na? Suporta ka na dito. Binigay ko kay Soyo, double ka doon. Anuhan mo si Soyo, ha?
Scared lang yan.
Ano ka siya?
Cross lang kami.
Ano Soyo, ha? Bantayan mo muna dito. Paano dito?
In volleyball, it can't be just the main gunner. It can't be 1 or 2 or 3 players. You need the other reliable weapons. And these two teams do have 4 players that can be relied upon.
Yeah, good numbers coming from Colleen Bravo and Susan Raslan, 7 and 5 respectively. But consistency really has to be there for these 2 players from Venera Pilipina. On the other hand, it's side itong Generica, Mina Agano and Andrea Meneses actually being more consistent. If you compare their first and second games, yung numbers nila hindi nagkakalayo. 1 point lang diferensya. For Aganon, 7 points in the second game. Against Petron, she had 8. Riri had 6 against Signal, 7 against Petron. So, more consistency on the side of Generica.
Our current score is 9 against 5 as the Lifesavers. Our board is back with you wherever you're catching us. Sarmenta, Dennis Tan, and Ransom Kiko completing your telecast team for today on the second game. Chutura, that shot. Shot down by Arado. Here's
Nice.
Loaded shot by Miss Elizabeth Vicente Campos. May bigla itong si Vicente Campos eh. Parang siyang ano eh. Parang siyang may springboard eh.
Yes.
Bang!
Kanina niya pa gustong hampasin yun ng ganun eh. Hindi niya mapwestuhan yung set ng maayos in the past few attacks.
Eh, lalo na may clearance eh, no?
Yes.
Walang blockers eh. Pinalik kay Abel.
Not over.
Hindi tumawid. Yung tira. And Judith has been plugging away, trying very hard. She's made 1 out of 4 attempts thus far. Our current count is 11 against 5. Elizondo all set to serve. That does not cross over. Judith Abel will be serving. Her team currently down by 5 here in the first. Second set ang paborito nitong Marinero. They're not winning the second set. Makulangan. Sibat yun. Back row, hindi inupakan. No chance to get a good lead from the fight. Good hand on that one. It becomes a set. Perkasugot! Bigla na lang hindi nagising sa pansitan yung mga yun. Ito. Recycled offense. Chutra says that's enough. Alam mo what I like? We talked about it last time, the skill sets of the imports. How they're telling the other players how to improve their own game also.
Yeah, because I think they know for a fact as well na, you know, it's not enough for them to play good. It really has to be a team effort all the time.
But you know, I'm also thinking that our 8 imports, they're just happy to have a job.
Oh, yeah.
In this time of health issues and everything. They're here, and hopefully our cases do not increase in the next couple of days. And sports can continue. So many events have already been shelved for the time being. So we're fortunate that we've been able to push through. May health precautions dito. May mga security at saka talagang hindi ako pwede pumasok pag hindi part of a team or ng ating coverage group. Our score right now is 12-8. Masugod serves just over the net. Mina Aganon shoots. And here comes Shukura. Wow, getting it airborne. Here comes Mina. Second time around the block, and it's long.
That was way out for Aganon. Asking for a check, but not given.
Parang natural movement play yan.
Ref, check!
Ito, lusot. And Mina, as we say in volleyball, bawi. Bawi and bawi. 13-9 tally here. Generica trying to inch towards the 16-point mark. That's a wayward serve. That did not find any good direction there.
And that's the 4th service error for Generica.
Marlon Gargoso bungling that service attempt, and it's a 3-point first set lead for the Lifesavers. Ganon gets it to go. And Mina stretches the lead to 4. Alam mo ang dating nito parang scrimmage. Diba?
Yes.
This tournament play, this is the way it looks in practice.
Oh,
nice. Started with a rope.
Very well timed. Ganda ng placement ng kamay over the net. Again, Razlan has nowhere to go. Look at this block. Pantay sarado.
Eksakto, no? Hindi man lang overreach, hindi sumobra. Kung minsan sinasabi ng coaches, idiin mo.
Yes.
Not necessary. Oh! Through the back row defense. And with that shot, it reaches 16. It's a 6-point lead by the Lifesavers in the first.
Focus tayo. Let's go. Pag may pagkakataon, transition na combination tayo, ha? 3, let's go.
Pwede ka na ba? Block sa click. Ikaw na sa drop mo lang.
Oo, drop sa akin.
There you go.
Kaya lang, ako na sa hard.
You guys are still enjoying the action here at the PSL Grand Prix 2020. And bagong players, bagong system. Ito daw ang mga adjustments na kinakarap ng Generica Ayala this conference. According to Coach Sherwin Meneses, their new system is more tailor-fit to their new taller roster and will focus on blocking. Ang maganda daw sa kanila is yung attitude ng kanilang players na willing mag-adjust and tanggap yung process na kahit natatalo, they don't feel defeated. Back to you, 7 Denise.
And alam mo, pagka ganun ang growth curve or not learning curve, you need a management also that's very understanding of where the team is supposed to go. Meanwhile, Generic has reasons to smile here in the first. They lead by 5. Parado, dinakulangan. Here's a fake. And Soyud hooked it over. Here's Judith Abel into the back row. Lisette Campos is there. Soyud, it's a tough set. It's a track down, and it becomes a shot. Looked long, but they put a hand on it. Here comes Aganon, who's been scoring there, but she ends up very short.
Masyado siya naka-bend backwards for her to attempt that. There was no force to fold that body towards the net.
And I think, and I speculate, she took her eye off the ball. She was looking at the block. Normally what happens is the lead is trimmed down. They're down to 4. Quick! Long!
Obviously, a mishit coming from Meneses. Yung wrist na yung nag-contact sa bola.
At saka lang pitik-pik. Flat na flat. Happens. Ulitin natin. Soyud. Ramirez makes it a set for Shukura. Hannah shot being bandied about it. Eddie Soyud is there. And it becomes a set. Round the 5. Campos is there. Elizabeth sees it fly to the air. Aganon. Hannah has to reach for it. And Eddie Soyud allows it to fly out.
You know, the great thing about Aganon, and actually what Generica is doing right now, is they're really making shoot to the target right here. Pag tinignan mo yung huling dalawang laro nitong Marinera, you can see that she's so tired, especially when she's at the back line.
That's a good point.
And how long has she been there in this rotation? Hindi pa siya umaharap.
Judith Abel. Elizabeth gets to it. They go back to Elizabeth. That's like a libero in that back row.
Nice.
Soyud, and they're out of place. And exactly, Hannah is telling her teammates, you're out of position.
A great combination play coming from Limacolangan. Look at Meneses take 2 blockers, freeing up Soyud with that corner hit. Zone 5 wide open.
There's a different hop to the step of Eli Soyud here today. 18-13. That's rejected. And Generica stretches its advantage to 6. Watch this.
Great timing from 3 players. Walang napag-iwanan doon. Spacing was very good as well.
You know, you have to understand the players when they make a point off the block. It is a joyful experience, trust me, in this one. It's just as exuberant as scoring. Like in this case.
Another one.
Eli Soyud is all over that net. Parang Eli Soyud has a roofing company that's covering every pavement on the block. Let's listen in.
Okay? Kung gusto mo ipa-check, pwede mo may dukduk sa kamay niya. Tulog sa kalabas eh. Hindi naman violation yun. Sarado ka na eh. Girls, tara. Nakakahabot tayo niyan eh. Kanina na-close na natin, 4 points na lang eh. Diba? Basa tayo sa play. Boy, basa tayo sa play. Hindi na nakikita. Yung tatlo, ano na, may umiikot. Tingnan natin yung mga tao binabantayan natin. Tara. Let's go! Ahoy!
Simple. It's really all about diskarte. Hinihingi niya Coach Villet. I mean, especially for their attackers. I mean, obviously, maganda yung pinapakita ng Generica in terms of their net defense. So, what are you gonna do? Hindi pwedeng everyday mababasag mo yung block. You have to find a way. You gotta go, I don't know, around it, over it.
To find a different route, right?
Exactly.
Alam mo itong rotation na ito, in the old days when there was the side out, you used to say, side out, ha? Parang umikot. And you yell at each other because in the old days, you could not score a point unless you controlled the serve. But that would take forever in the present days. We would have endless side outs. Oh, that's too precarious. That didn't have a nice line, actually. And it is becoming an easy first set for Generica Ayala at 21-13.
So you really just a strong presence on that net. Intimidating Marinera Pilipina.
Parang chinek niya yung attendance ng buong linya ng Marinera, eh, no? Asan kayo? Stretched by Di Maculangan. Soyud fires and scores. nicely this morning, huh? And has been energetic on both ends, both skills, offensive and defensive. There's an attack from the middle. There's there. And a slap by Elizabeth. There is net contact.
Tawa na lang sila kagad. They already knew that was gonna be a free point. Sorry.
Kaya hulog ka.
Sorry, coach.
Alam mo naman si Sherwin. Oh, sige, bumalik lang tayo sa ating ano. Basics lang tayo, ha? Sige, receive na tayo. 22-14. 5-set win earlier by Cherry Tigo against PLDT. Oh, the shot. Regalo. Hindi na binuksan na regalo. Oh, knockdown pero nasa taas. Mas importante yun. And it's it off the block. No.
That touch on Vicente Campos.
Hindi maganda yung social distancing niya from the net. It's a new term nowadays. And it's 15 against 22. Nakaikot na. Hindi pa rin umiikot yung
Hindi
rotation.
pa. She's been there. Stuck siya dun sa unang rotation at the back at zone 6. O zone 1 rather.
Rhea, the Makulangan checking the other horizon. And it's on the line.
Good eye by Vicente Campos.
Her best shot is the cross court, really.
Yeah, because that zone 4 is always open. Dito sa Marinera.
And Marinera now falling behind, 15-23. Lightsabers slowly moving towards the threshold on the finish line of the first. Quick. Sugar didn't get this to stay down. Long and out. And that'll bring them to 24. Is it another net touch?
It's on Diagoso.
We'll have changes in the Marinero roster. Ivy Remulla is in. Rica Jolan is in. Jolan will become the setter. Alam mo, sabi talaga ni Bullet mo na iba-iba ang sistema pinanggalingan dating dito sa level nito. Takes a while for a system to sink in, and that's on target. That cross-court shot is her money shot. May makatunog comes in, Basas will come in, Soyud as well as the Makulangan hit the bench. Doors here and the flying green here today for both our matches. Back row, pick up that down by Mina Ganon, and that's on target.
And Pilipinas yet to read that attack from Vicente Campos, always targeting that sideline, especially in her last couple of attacks.
And the first set controlled by Generica on both defensive as well as offensive fronts. Elisoyed and Elizabeth Vicente Campos, the shining stars of Generica's win in the first in 23 minutes. And these are highlights from the first set. I'm just looking at Spiky right now. She's dancing to the chairs right now. But the first set, absolutely controlled by Generic.
Oh yeah, I mean, from the get-go, maganda yung service reception nila. It enabled them to set up some good plays, go back to Vicente Campos over and over again, and Herc doing that cut shot down to zone 4, which really just ended that first set. And again, looking at the numbers, tignan mo naman yung diferensya. 15 attacks compared to 4. So obviously, a lot more effort coming from Marinera dapat in the second set, especially getting that first ball dahil dun sila hirap na hirap. Pagdating dun sa blocks, 3 blocks there as compared to none from the side of Marinera. And I think at least 2 of those 3 blocks was care of Eli Soyud.
Yes.
But again, offensively, defensively, Marinera definitely needs to double their effort in the second.
Boy, yeah, there's a lot to talk about with Renz and Coach Villet.
Yes, Chef. Denise, let's check in right now with Marinera Filipina Ladies Keepers. Coach Villet, nakauna po yung Generica Ayala ng isang set ng first set. Ano pong plano? Thank you. Ano po ang plano sa second set para makabawi?
It was a slow start, sobra. Kasi up na kagad sila ng 3 mahirap bumawi na. Siguro kailangan lang namin put our head together. Medyo sabog pa rin sila hanggang ngayon. Pero hopefully this second set makahabol na.
Thank you very much, Coach Villet. Back to you, 7 Denise.
What other way? How other way can you say it? Diretso na.
At least kay Coach nang galing.
Sabog pa. Now, this is not the way they played in the last game against Santa Lucia, nor in that game against Teritigo in Bacoor. And wait a minute. Dali lang. Hindi pwede ata yun. Naitos na. Is it a point? Yes, it is. It's a violation of the serve. Not the most auspicious way to start. She could have been allowed to repeat it, actually, if you think about it. Kasi papalo na siya eh.
Yes.
Yun ang downside. In the meanwhile, the leaders of the team have to settle down this club, this Marinera side. In the meantime, that is outside, and Marinera gets on board. We're tied at 1. If you're just joining us, the first set went the way of Generica, 25-16, and it was a dominating performance, lumbering start by Marinera there. And this rotation hardly moved. They're short. That's Golina missing that attempt.
But again, I go back to that first ball problem of Marinera. That was a quick play. Yun yung usapan ni Goliman at Ramirez. But they couldn't really complete it dahil yung sa bilis ng first ball. And Ramirez was all the way in the back. So hirap na hirap dito ang setter.
So they gotta slow it down a little.
Slow it down a little. Look at that.
That's
Over-reception. What chance does Ramirez have against Meneses? More often than not, I'm sure Meneses will get to that ball first. So kailangan talaga tulungan nila yung setter dito.
And what we have learned from you through the years is that the first ball must be slowed down so that there's a better chance for the setter to do her thing. This might be a possibility, but it's in the air. Good hands by Generica Ayala. Back row attempt. It is down and out. They get Ana Juntura to score. Will be serving. That is rejected. And better defense that time. Alcaide making that happen. We're tied at 3. That was quick. Officially 3-all tayo, huh? Yes, we are. And we adjust that on the board as we have the attempt. That goes through. He punched it through. Vicente Campos chases it in, just in that difficult corner, but that's completely out of reach. It is Generica falling behind na. That's it. Second set. Marinera loves the second set.
The score 4-33.
Good set.
It is foil, so it puts a left hand on it. From the back row, the slap by Aganon. Chutura with a strike. Soyet zips it over. Ramirez chases it. Chutura hard at work. Tough angle to work with.
Good selection by Vicent Campos. I mean, you can see it sometimes when the blockers, if their hands are not over that net, when it's simply just put up, when they simply just put it up, definitely papasok dun sa gap between the blocker and the net.
Good eye. That is a definitive way of putting it. 4 apiece here in the second set. Leah Meneses, her serve play. Back stays out and down. Generica Ayala back in front by a point. Pag close doon, dinig na dinig yung mga sinisigaw ng production staff eh. Nag-aaway yata sila rito eh. Wala kasing tao. Sila. Mamaya sila isasayaw sa master block.
Al-Qaeda doing the same thing. Seeing Generica blockers a bit confused in their placement.
Exactly.
Nakaisa.
Tabla po tayo, 5-all. Raslan will be in the service area. Ganda ng control ng first ball ng Generica.
Ganda ng form ni Vicent Campos. You gotta see that again. Again, good first ball. It was a great speed, great height set coming from Rhea. Yung arch ng katawan, you already know it was gonna be a powerful one.
That Arado with excellent control.
Oh yeah,
Excellent control.
doing very well.
That's an overpass, but Ramirez put a hand on it. Ever so slightly. I suspect she put a fingertip on it. Let's see if we'll get it here. Yep,
Just the right push.
had a fingertip on it.
Now serving Johnson Friday.
And our current count is 6 apiece. He said, huli ka.
I like the effort of Marinera here. Vicent Campos all the way on zone 4, pero sumabay pa rin si Chutura to make it a triple block, making sure she doesn't cross that net.
She has finally arrived in the front row to being stalled, admired in that back row in that first set. Soyut with a strike. It's in the air. Raslan with a hand on it. Aganon gets it airborne. Soyut long. I thought she would nick the corner, but did not. And look at this. Marinera with a 2-point lead going into the first. Tactical ceasefire.
Maglakas sa kanya kasi padadaanan ka. Eh, kaya mong lakin eh. Mababa lang yung daan ng bola eh. Sumempo ka. Ha? Mag-commit ka. Ha? Huwag mo na ilalagay dito. Ipasok mo lang. Kahit umakyat yan dyan, okay lang. May makukuha ng teammates natin yan. Ha? Tara. Let's go. Let's go, Hana. Yes! Hoy!
I just love listening to Philip Ponce de Leon, coach, with emphasis and clear learnings. But Ana Chutura, quality important, no question about
Oh
it.
yeah, definitely. 36 points in their first game, 29 in that second against Santa Lucia, the one you're seeing on your screen. And I mean, just amazing numbers, 23 attacks, 3 blocks, 3 aces. And you know, in the last 2 games that Marinera played, she had 8 out of the 12 blocks. So offensively, defensively, very reliable si Hana Chutura.
Absolutely. He is the drone of his Marinera team. Renz has a story. Renz?
One of the motivation for Marinera Filipina to get a win today is Hana Chutura's birthday. We got to talk to Hannah before the game, and the win is her only birthday wish. Though according to Hannah, you can't just wish for a win. You have to work and work hard for it. She's confident that they'll get the win soon since she believes their team is continuously improving. Back to you, Seven Denise.
That is so correct. And Hannah being introduced to Filipino culture, no? O sige, birthday mo. Kailangan manalo tayo. Ang sagot niya, hindi, kailangan paghirapan natin to. Diba?
No, really. I mean, because it's one thing to say it and actually perform it on that court.
Happy people. As we said, Campos is there with the toss into the air. Aganon. Here's the attack. Arado keeps it in play. Aganon. Dangerous star. Torre lumampas.
Problem there is Lagoso obviously not looking at the ball. Took her eyes off it as soon as she went up.
Parang she didn't know whether to block or to hit the regalo. That's the predicament you're in when you're in that middle area, and that happens, and it floats that way. Here's a twisting dig sent into the air and over the net by Arado. But quick, it is rejected. Nowhere to go for Goliman.
Basa yung back quick ni Goliman. Exactly where she was gonna go.
Marinera still in the lead though by 2. Serve. Ramirez. Sobra. That's a check ball, clearly so. Elizabeth Bizet Campos touching it last.
Shooter not forcing anything here, just targeting that end line. Bizet Campos normally wouldn't end at the wait at the very end. Kasi ganun yung depensa niya.
Marinera holding on to a 3-point lead in the second set. They lost the first set 5-16. Aganon rejected and scored upon by Marinera.
I really commend this triple block being set by Marinera for the outside hitters. I mean, not taking their chances, really covering that zone 4 as well.
And as Coach Villet said to Renz in that very candid conversation earlier, slow start. They were so Soyug, who had a good first set. Ria may have been guilty of a lift here. Yeah. Can't hold on to the ball and make it look like you're throwing a basketball, really. It's catch and throw. We have a timeout to be engaged in by Generica.
Dito walang problema para makakuha tayo ng quicker. Puro bitin dito eh. Good receive. Ha? Pag first time si Rhea, medyo dikit niya sa net. Chance ball yung serve, chance ball yung serve. Ha? Easy, 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 easy. Okay? Mag-play tayo kung pwede. Kasi nabasa na tayo dun. Hindi, kahit pagbiga dun, kaya mo naman yung bigo. Let's go, let's go.
Coach Sherwin just asking them to take advantage of the Makulangan. Of course, I mean, she's a frontliner. She can go for that 1-2 attack, set up combination plays kapag mas maganda. Obviously, pag malayo yung first ball, I mean, malamang sa malamang hindi na ipipilit na mag-quick plays.
Share naman si Pili naman ang gospel nito. The reception is key. Engineering, starting any kind of offense. Meneses snaps it home. Makes it a 13-9. First set, they obtained the serve, and they will be serving at 9 against 13. Veteran Rhea de Maculangan. Ramirez makes it a set long by Shutura.
Wanted to go over the blockers. Kulang ng pitek.
That'll make the second set 10 against 13. Shutra fires anew. Good hands by Di Maculangan. Soyud on courts. Chutara with a hand in it, and it is out of reach. And the lead has been lost, and Coach Billet wants to talk shop.
Ha? Basa, alam niyo naman, di ba? Magko-cross court. Let's just control our digs. Okay? Control our digs. Okay? Okay? If you're there, you hit cross. You hit cross. Don't hit there because they are very heavy on their defense on here. You target the center here. Okay? Tara, girl! Taas ng bola, ha? Sige, kakamaliga. Kuha mo yan. Let's go.
I love the way she spoke at the side of her mouth when she said, target the center. It's basic volleyball. It is not politically incorrect. It's just make her work. You just love the conversation that goes on along the sidelines, actually. Here's the attack. And off the fingertips of Rhea Lee. The second set is the favorite set of Marinera.
Yes.
They have an alarm clock that brings them back into reality.
This is the same set. Second set is what they won when they were up against Santa Lucia.
And they won against Cherry Tigo in
Yes.
Bacoor. That does not go over. That'll bring us to 15 against 11. Chutara will again go to the back row. Zaparado nearly bungling that. Ganon. Ramirez hustles for it. The Makulangan has to stretch. Soyud cut shot. And they tumble down.
A good target by Ellie Soyud. Yung dalawang nag-aabang ng short ball, which is, you can see here, Libero down at zone 2, Razlan all the way in zone, Libero in zone 5 and Razlan in zone 2. Masyado silang malayo.
And it's on target. Yes. Al-Qaeda has come to perform, coming off the bench. And we arrive at the second technical timeout, 16 against 12. And Generica playing catch-up here.
Tapos malak tayo pagka nadepensahan. O, pag may receive tayo, mag-combination tayo, Rhea. Ikaw na mag-decide kung anong combination. Ha? Let's go, let's go. Generica!
You guys are watching the PSL Grand Prix 2020. At kung mapapansin nyo po, si Mika Lopez is not suited up tonight and is even in crutches on the sideline of Generica Ayala. According to the team's PT, nakaschedule si Mika to undergo surgery 3 weeks from now because of an ACL on her left knee that she got from their game last Tuesday. Sa ngayon, she's undergoing some strengthening and hindi pa masabi when she will be back on court. Back to you, Seven Denise.
Yeah, that was the game, I think, in Bacoor, and she started there. Didn't get to play at length. Tatarado has two hands on that pass. Chutara works and delivers. She's going berserk now that she's gotten her rhythm going. 17 against 12. The serve floats in. Reverse, Soyud gets forward, a dose of her own medicine there.
Kanina si Al-Qaeda din yung nakakabantay dito kay Soyud. Really covering that hitting arm.
And that makes it 18 against 12. Elizabeth and Ramirez unable to control it.
Yeah, Vicet Campos, hard hit, targeting that long, targeting long. Dahil pasok ulit si Ramirez.
Ria Meneses is our server at 14 against 17. Ana Shutura, the push. Ganon kneels down to lift it. Yes, almost the same play. Regalo goes through.
You can see the intention right away. Yung swing ng arm and her body was facing that antenna. Gusto nilang pa-checkin lang dito kay Kasugod.
In the meanwhile, it is Ramirez. The shot is on the line, and that will make it a 19-14 second.
And Razlan, her last two attacks. You know, again, not targeting, not wanting it to be such a hard hit, powerful one, but just going for the corners.
Placement. Marunong matandang volleyball placing.
Yes.
Placing. Ay! Your former coach used to say that a lot. Augusto used to say that a lot. I-placing mo lang. I-placing mo lang. Sasabihin na naman sa akin. Ako na naman naalala.
Hi, boss. If you're watching.
Samantala, a shuffle in the lineup. This is a familiar sub-pattern of Coach Villet. It's Ivy Remulla and Jolan coming in. Okay. Parang meron siyang crew for the finish. Just to get the server, but get a good rotation. Ivy is out of place. It's a service ace for the very productive Ellie Sawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Generic, unable to get the serve in. May Makatuno will come in. Placing Soyud. Makulangan will sit down. And Basas is going to be in. Is indeed, as Isa Chung downstairs says, it's 20 serving 16. Difficult set. Almost made it. Chutura fires a bullet. Dodged by Generica. Campos. It becomes a set by Gulan. Easily managed and absorbed by Makatuno. Hindi maibaon yung mga set at mga tusok. Yan ay in. It looked out, but the linesman says in.
Best chance for Marinera Pilipina to just close this set out. Nandyan si Chutura. She has her rhythm going.
Good point, yes. Kung may challenge, challenge.
Tsaka nasa first rotation siya of being front line.
Good point. Ganon. Back set. Is it outside? It is outside. And here comes Marinera tiptoeing towards the finish line. Trying to listen in to Sherwin Meneses.
Ano tayong magagawa dyan, ha? O, receive muna ulit tayo, respect. Mars, talong ka ng maganda para makapuntan ka ng bola. Magsasabuli tayo, dalawa spiker, ha?
Let's go.
Medyo dito yung receive natin, medyo dito. Para medyo malayo habulin.
Okay, and we're stepping out of that timeout. Then, do I get it right that the title of this small feature is age?
Age is just a number because she is...
Like I'm going to talk about a woman and her age. That is so dangerous. Who wrote this stuff?
But again...
You can't do that on there. You do it.
But again, Elizabeth Vicet Campos, the youngest import that we have, only 19 years old.
Puri naman pala.
Look at her number. She has very high efficiency in that game against Signal. She killed 15 out of the 36 attacks. That's around 42%. And you know, she's the only player to have blocks in that game as well.
I will tiptoe around you. Renz, do you remember being 19? I don't. Kasi ayokong pag-usapan si Denise. Nakilala ko si Denise
Bata pa ako.
Nakilala ko si Denise around that time eh. 22-7. Nagno-nostalgia tayong dalawa kanina. Kung anong season kayo nag-champion. Ito, 22-17. Ito, 19 years old pa na, no? Nakambata. Look at this jump serve. Bang! Cannonball. Imports, exchange passes. Hand on it. Right, Yolan. Shukura adjusts in the air. Turbulence there. The shot. And check ball.
Kitang-kita.
Look at Billet. And this is still close and tight. Generica still within striking distance. 18 vis-a-vis 22. Here comes another cannonball. Softer this time. Shukura recoiled. Hand on it, reached for, and they keep it in play. Elisoyed is there. Here's the set long. And it is 23-18. Marinera saying we gotta do better than just winning this second set again. Will they finally score that W? Because Generica is interested in that as well. 3 hands on it. Ponce de Leon tells their team to get back into position. Here comes the close to the net toss. Here comes Jolan. And Shutra says, let's change the pace. Playing patty cake at the net. Nobody striking. Yeah, then it dies in the water. Not exactly the most dramatic way to end the point, but a point is a point is a point.
Great effort coming from Marinera Pilipina. Actually, ilang beses na iwan yung middle blocker nila.
That is true.
But they saved the floor.
It is set point. Good stretch that time. Back to Sugod. Remulia. Back row and nowhere to go. The second set is the domain of Marinera. They seem to like the second set.
Yeah, they've officially won all of the second sets in their 3 games. Let's see if they could continue that in the third.
Okay, back with us at the Flying Bees, playing behind closed doors. We take a look at some choice cuts from that second set won by Marinera.
Obviously, a better showing coming from Marinera Pilipina. Vicette Campos, she was stopped a couple of times. I was talking about her efficiency, but that didn't really happen in the second set. We saw a lot of Jutora again in the second. She was silenced in the first. She spent a lot of time at the back and didn't really get the ball. But again, second set is Marinera's favorite set. Kaya nakabawi na sila.
Let's go to Renz.
Yes, Denise, we are now joined by Coach Sherwin Meneses of the Lifesavers. Coach, nakauna kayo, maganda yung inyong first set pero nakabawi sila sa inyo sa second set. Ano po yung plano nyo for the third set to get back on track?
Siyempre, yung basic skills muna, yung service receive namin, kailangan maibalik namin sa third set para maka-atake ng mas maganda.
Right. Thank you very much, Coach. Back to you, 7 Denise.
Life is simple
Yeah.
for Sherwin Meneses. Receive. Receive.
Yeah.
Alam mo, medyo, even volleyball, you have to be a little greedy. You can't just keep
Oh,
on
yeah,
giving.
definitely.
You have to receive.
No, but I was making notes nga, and
Yeah.
I was thinking of the second set, and
And?
I can only think of one thing about Generica, and that they lost their reception. They were doing a great job in the first. They were setting up combination plays. Nawala siya totally in the second, and they became very predictable. At the latter part ng dulo, sinusubukan ni Rhea ang bitawan o mapag-iwanan yung middle blockers, but again, everybody knew that she was still going to the outside hitter, so
And the
well
rotation favored Marinera. Yung ikot eh. They finally got this woman in the front row, and action continues here in the third set. Sets are tied at 1 apiece. Glad you could join us here today, catching us on One Sports and all our other platforms as well.
Ellie saw it again with another block.
And she's been very, very prolific here
Oh,
today.
yeah. 10 points right now. 5 attacks, 3 blocks, 2 of which he got in the first set, and 2 aces under her name.
And here we go with action continuing with the serve of Rhea de Maculana. They're ahead 1-0. And that is out of reach. And we are tied with Nika Goliman's effort. If you just joined us, the first set going the route of Generica, 25-16. And as Denise pointed out, they were smoother. They flowed better in that first. That's a miss by Meneses, but they'll take that. Second set going to Marinera, 25-18.
Napaganda pa.
Okay na yun.
Minsan talaga, okay na rin yung swerte.
Receive. You don't have to be always good, just lucky. Samantala, eto. Serve in play. Overpass. And that's good. Not lucky. Patio Rendain will be serving. Did not see action in the first 2 sets. Middle attack. Blocked. Ramirez resets. Blocked, and that's nowhere to go.
Good timing from Meneses and Soyud. Spacing.
And this was, as we learned from Renz earlier, this is what they want their game to be. It's anchored on blocking.
Oh, yeah.
It's sealing the roof first, and let's see how everything else follows. Shoot it out. Saw a wide open spot.
Everybody waiting for that hard hit. Kaya umatras silang lahat is because that's really what you're gonna expect if you have shooter attacking from the back line.
Mika Guliman is going to be serving for us. Sails down cleanly. Rhea checks the horizon. Down the middle. Reset Campos is foiled. They reset. Does not force the issue. She had no hop on that one. Here comes the pass to Shitara. And down the middle. It's reset. A chance. No. Can't go to Shitara again. And Arado has it. Reset Campos. Longest exchange here. Block. And this has been the key to Generica's game. It took a vacation and leave of absence in the second set, but it seems to be back and well employed.
3 out of the 5 points they got was from their net defense.
Marinera now falling behind by 3. Shukura gets to it. It becomes a set. The attack high and out. Jasmine Alcaide's attempt had no snap to it, no wrist. Just a flat out attempt. It is now Generica leading by 4 here in the third. Ramirez has to kneel down. This is rejected. They reset. Problematic set there. Meneses tosses it high. Sawyed uncorks. Shooter is there waiting. And there's Let's chase that. Oh! Accidente.
A little bit of help from the net. Again, they're just gonna take that.
Alam mo naman si Rhea. Okay lang yan. Yan ang mabilis mag-move on.
Smile lang ng smile.
I would be disappointed if there was a game and I did not see Rhea de Maculangan smile. Parang hindi kompleto yung game. Oh, lakas naman nun. And that will make it a 6-4 tally here. 4 serving against 6 here. Serving would be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it's Raslan. Soyud fires. Raslan is there. Ramirez. And Kasugod can't hit it.
Touch on Kasugod.
And we now go with the serve of Eli Soyud. They are a point away from reaching the tape of the first technical timeout. It's Angaiga who has to improvise. De Maculangan, and it does not get to its destination. It will be a point for
Yeah, that touch called on Llagoso.
Marlin still in a quandary actually as to what the call was, but now she's aware of it. It is now 5 serving against 7. De Maculangan kneels down for this one. It is on target. Down the line. And the technical timeout is arrived at. It's 8-5. We have the lead by Generica. Back in a moment.
Cross ng palo. O tara, gana tayo, gana tayo, gana tayo. Hey!
Hindi tayo na maalis na bola. Angat lang natin. Hindi natin kailangan i-over.
Tatlo lang yan, ha?
Let's go, Lovers!
Tatlo lang. Magkaligyan kayo yung paluin nyo kasi hindi ka lang
Eli Soyud has her locks and tresses flying when she goes for it. And the other day I remember saying she's like the kind of friend you'd like to ride the bicycle with. And she's feeling right at home, and this is what she did against Signal.
And the good thing about Ellie is that game after game, her performance is just getting better. Again, in the first game, she had 6 points against Petron. Pagdating do sa laban against Signal, she has 13. Currently, she now has 11 points. And you look at that, 5 attacks, 4 blocks, 2 aces. Overall, such a good performance wherever you take her inside that court.
Such a beautiful name. Christine Joyce Soyud. Another ace. And there's an alertness problem on the side of Marinera,
And this is exactly what happened to them in the first set.
where they lost 25-16. This rotation does not favor them when Chutura is in the back. And the serve is bungled. 6-10. Jan Kasugod is in the service area. This one goes down cleanly. Here's De Maculangan, and the shot is easily handled. Chutura gets Eli Soyud to mix up her dance steps. And Marinera tries to get going here. They scored 2 points in a row. Kasugod serve. Steady so far. That's on target.
And very good adjustment from Orende. You could sense that it was a bit too low for her. But a faster approach, explosive jump, naabutan yung bola.
And just the veteran that she is, it is Generica ahead by 4. Chutura adjusts in the air. Makulangan. And a chase down. A slap. Buliman's attempt in play. A good stretch that time by Hernandez. Chutura on course long, but it's a declared attack.
Check on Di Makulangan.
Sometimes the referee see the deflection of the ball. Kung minsan mahirap makita ang trajectory ng bola. And Rhea has no complaints about that. They're down. That's Marinera, that is. Down by 3 with Ramirez serving. Meneses is foiled. Arado has to adjust to the other end. Chutura. Arado still alive. Don't worry about her. She's fine. And here comes Lisette Campos to the open Orendain. And Fati doesn't get it to reach the entire neighborhood.
That was a bit too low for Orendain. Using Di Makulangan, quickly apologizing.
And she was shooting on the way down. And Generica will try to regroup here.
Eh, samantalayin natin yung serves nila, ha? Dito tayo mag-play, ano? Sa gitna lang ang receive. Pati, huwag ka dito, hindi ka na makakasi. Sobrang layo mo naman, eh. Ha? O, B lang tayo, tapos C. Mabilis lang na C. Okay? Huwag kang bumelo ng bumelo. Kahit mataas naman yung receive, eh. Tsaka yung service mataas naman, eh. Ha? Let's go. Pass mo doon kasi si Rhea front line para makuha yung import sa kabila, ha? Let's go.
We need you, Denise Tan, to decipher and interpret some of what Coach Sherwin was trying to say.
Well, basically, Coach Sherwin was just asking for faster sets. So you have a B quick and a C quick. Yung instructions niya kay Patty naman is really more on the placement kung saan siya bumubuelo. Kasi ang sinasabi ni Coach Sherwin, masyado siyang lumalabas and she doesn't need to do that. Hindi niya kailangan ng mahabang buelo. Because if she does that, then hindi na siya pwedeng, paano pag bumitin, pag short o mababa, hindi niya na maaabutan.
Hindi mo kailangan ng take-off na para ka mag-broad jump, mag-long jump, or high jump. That is return to sender. And don't look now, but Marinera is knocking at the door rather loudly. They're down by just 1 after being down by as large as 5. They're trying to buck that second set magic and trying to extend it to another set. They've always won the second set. Orenda in, rejected, and we're tied.
And I think this is where Di Makulangan needs to change up the play because, again, there's no separation. The middle blocker is just going, it's 1 step away from the other attacker, which is Orendain. So again, she needs to take them to the other side para mahirapan ng konti itong middle blockers.
She's got to mix up her punches, but she wants to go to Patty Orendain anew. Here comes the setup job. It's a chance ball. Soyud will now go again to Orendain. It punches down, but it's still in play. Arado is there. Di Makulangan sets up a quick. Meneses, Chutura fighting and unable to give it a float.
Di Makulangan really having the advantage there. Goliman trying to get it over sideways. Hindi niya masyadong napansin kagad. There's really a lack of control when you try to push it sideways as compared to when your body is facing that ball.
Right. That's exactly right. And we have the count at 12 vis-a-vis 11. Adjusts, yes. Found a less turbulent route in the air. And we're knotted together at 12. Arado's been so steady. Here comes the set by Ramirez. Down the middle we go, and it's on the line.
Chutura has been exposing the laps on that defense of Generica. Again, madalas nabubutas yung kanilang end line. All 3 zones.
You know, Marinera could have just folded up and died here, but they are alive and kicking here. It's a 1-point lead. They get to the net. The Makulangan goes to the rear. And good recovery by Hernandez. There's a battle at the net. Sawyer fires. Shooter up, puts a hand on it. Here comes a chance ball. The Makulangan goes to the other side, and down and out it goes for Elisoyo.
Elisoyo again, targeting sharp, targeting long, leaving Chutura helpless in that sweeper position. She's 6'3", but couldn't get a hand in there.
She's done a little of everything already, you know, but we're tied at 13. That's into the net. Ate Orendain.
You know, that's the 8th service error of Generica in this match.
So, wow, they're most likely going to practice on that tomorrow in training. We're going to go with Guliman. 1-point lead by Marinera in a fiercely fought third. Zed Campos. Chutura, who now has 13 attacks. You know, when the team score a point and they come together, it's not just a celebration. They're thinking already of the next move. Can't be all joy. Unless it's the end of the game. In the meanwhile, and punch through cleanly.
Very nice. Probably, I would say, the first really smooth, really clean connection between the Makulangan and Meneses, especially for that big quick attack.
Just over the outstretched hands of Jen Casugot there. Meneses center serve in play. Down the middle. Nowhere to go.
Well read by Llagoso.
At may, swagger yung walk niya palayo eh, di ba? Gotcha. There is a different satisfaction with the block, I tell you. Oh, well played. Just well played. Raslan with a good read. We arrive at the second technical timeout, and it is 16-15. We shall be right back.
Umabol yung blacker dito. Binigay mo pa siya. Oo, nagpasan mo lang yung beater, yung beater blacker niya. Kasi yung laal dito mo, wala na yun. Wala na beater. Oo, diretso mo lang na ganun, oh. Let's go, ha? Let's go.
We have you back with us here, and officially it's 16-15 in favor of Marinera. They arrived at the technical timeout ahead of Generica Ayala. This is a fiercely fought third set. It's the turning point set. Keep in mind, both teams have yet to win in the tournament.
And Marinera has yet to win a third set, so it'll be big for them to, I mean, if they finally
break the jinx.
Yes.
Break the jinx, so to speak.
And lead the set count in a match.
And be one set away from the first win ever. This will stay in play. Soyud chased down by Rastman. Chutura fires. Orendain keeps it alive. And Hernandez is there. Chutura hooks it in with a punch.
And Chutura just targeting those corners. The last time she attacked from the back line, she went to the same exact target, zone 5.
Look at the hand movement. Huh? She could have gone easily towards the left, but she adjusted her hand to go to the right. Such dexterity. Soyud, her shot is still in play. Raslan unable to handle it. Soya just so hot here today. Yes, Renz. Renz.
We can bring home the
Alam mo?
W if we continue.
Alam mo, hindi ka nakikinig sa akin, ha? Gising ka dyan. Hello, Renz.
Eto na, Sir Sir. According to Coach Bilet Ponce de Leon, they can bring home the W if they continue to play their game. Ito yung nakikita ng paraan ni Coach Bilet para makuha yung kanilang unang panalo after a 23-game losing streak. Tila nagsastruggle daw kasi paminsan ng kanilang team kung kailan hindi dapat. Kailangan mabura na daw sa isip ng kanilang team ang mga talo at ma-develop ang winner's mentality. Back to you, Sir Seb and Denise.
Tingnan mo. Kasaysayan ng mga ulam ni Renzo Kiko kasi hindi natin ibibigay ang error. Ay, naku. Hindi pinatawid sa border.
No, but I just gotta go back to that report. It's hard to imagine for someone who played as well to continuously, you know, perform the way that they do, especially in this conference after 23 consecutive losses. You know, at one point, your pride will definitely take a hit. Pero iba ang pinapakita ng Marinera.
You know, I saw that in that first game they played when we were in Bacoor. With the help of the import, they're a different team.
Yes.
There's a different hop to their step. And boy, Ren Salamat, that'd be 23.
23.
Who wants to lose that long? Yeah. It's like the New York Mets. It's like...
Actually, back-to-back, nakakainis na yun eh.
LA Clippers for a while. Anyway, life goes on for Mariner trying to get that first W ever. It's going to be a party if they nail it. And it's the as Ren said, it's the birthday of Hannah Sutra, I think, today.
Yes, it's her 32nd birthday today.
And let's get back to the score. It is now tied at 18.
Now serving just
That Ramirez getting the best of Llagoso.
Guy just played well off the bench. Olendain, here comes the shot. Taas. You could feel the players telling each other, Taas! It is still in play, but they couldn't get it in the right direction. The lead changes hands now.
I gotta credit half that point to Catarado, who has been just spectacular tonight. That save led to that attack.
Alam mo, parang drill sa volleyball, parang humakampas. Nagwo-walling ka.
Pag sikat, no? Pag si Arado yung katapat mo.
Ito, itinaas ng Arado. Reverse set. Huli ka. Tinaas naman ni Makatuno. Ito si Orendain. Pinalo. Hinabol ni Reslan to the other side of the universe. It's up and still in play. Here comes Bisset. And does not force it. Here comes the set for Shutoro. Yes!
Shutoro trying to go did go cross court dahil medyo half a step late itong si Llagoso. We're gonna see it here. Medyo mababa yung kamay.
Tabla na naman tayo. I don't know. Kanina may set na 28-26. Ito. Nako, nabutasan sila. Llagoso getting some points in. Pushes her team ahead by 1. Mina Aganon returns.
the score 20
20 against 19. Aganon serve. Hello. Sherwin Menesa says it's a foot long and wide, but how can you declare that in? But the linesman believes it's in, so that'll stay. You don't have the challenge in this round, or else you go home at 12 midnight. All down the middle with really Meneses.
Ganda, and it's really good for Generika to continuously utilize their middle blocker.
That quick is working for really now.
Yep.
Watch this.
Look how fast Riri was.
Palo niya. Pag dito galing yan, ganun yung palo niyan. Yun lang ang bantayan mo. Bantayan mo muna siya. Tatlong attacker eh, di ba? Tao-tao tayo. Di ba? Tatlo tayo nasa harap oh. Girls, first attack tayo. Okay, porsyento tayo kasi dahil natin magabol. Okay? Tapos pagbali ka na. Block tayo. Kumuha ka ng bola sa ano ha. Ready ka na para.
You know, volleyball is probably one of the only sports that uses the word porciento as a strategy. Huh?
Yeah, and I think Porciento, in terms of what Coach Villet was saying about Meneses, is she normally hits to the direction of where she's facing the ball. So they should be able to read that right now. It's we're in the third set.
But offensively, they wanted to gain the porciento, and I think they'll go to you-know-who. Oh, naku, messed up set. That's a bad time for it to take place. They've fallen behind. That's Marinera by 2 here. You know, you had a good point about breaking that third set jinx, really. But, you know, Generic also wants to win. So this is made for a delightful affair between these two winless teams thus far in the Grand Prix. Fingertip battle.
That touch on Soyun.
Uh-oh. And door slightly open for Marinera here.
Soyun was trying to reach Shutura, but I mean, paano? Sobrang haba, sobrang tangkad. Just has to be careful with that defense.
Orendain and a hot volleyball. When Patty is wide open, she usually scores. It's wide open. Look at this. Hardly anything to block her. Marinera will use a ceasefire.
Tigasan mo. Okay? Tigasan mo. Kaya mo si Soyun. Kapatan mo. Huwag kang magmadali, ha? Diretso lang naman yan. Hindi naman siya nag-running ngayon. Puro taas-taas lang. Sino ang depensa dito? Magko-cross yan, ha? Magko-cross yan. Bantay tayo dito kasi pag napa-check out yan, napa-check dito, tao dito, habol. Ha? Rhea, humabol ka pag na-check. Girls, kailangan natin makabalik ng atake. Okay?
Tsaga lang guys, tsaga. Okay. Keepers!
Well, really, the floor defense, importante yung, especially that cross-court hit because that zone 1 has really been open for Generica. Shutura again just left in that zone 6 in the middle as the sweeper.
Exactly.
And nobody's guarding that area between zones 1 and 2.
Orendain has played the majority of this third set. Uh-oh, that died in the water. Soyun gently over to the middle action now. Ramirez has to stretch for it. Shutura, that does not get contained. Shutura keeps them in harness here. 1-point lead. You know, we kind of expected that this would be a grind-out game between these two. Earlier today, we had Sherry Vigo grinding out the win against PLDT. Who asked for a timeout now?
Sherwin.
Okay, let's listen.
Isipin lang muna natin sa setter mapupunta, hindi yung mag-aalangan tayo mag-receive. Ri, anong pinakamaganda mo? A. O, dito ka naman galing. Kasi nandito ka eh. Pag B ka, mahirapan ka, malayo. O, saan na-receive natin dito? Eli, focus ka lang dito ah. Okay. Spike ha. Okay? Ha? Huwag ka panigurado eh.
Receive 2. Hey, 5. Kaya mo yan.
Was Sherwin talking to Elizabeth? Spike? Probably.
At saka pinasimple niya na lang. I mean, no more big B-quicks.
Yeah.
Sabi niya kay Gigi, masyado malayo yung pinanggagalingan niya with the initial positioning. So it's just 2 outside hitters
And it's
then an A-quick.
It's a
basic play.
1 point, third set. Soyun. It's high in the air. Oh!
Alangan si Ramirez kay Misan Campos.
That's also dangerous eh. Yung isa may poste. you're thinking twice there, and there's the table there.
Yes.
Ako advocate ako ng lakihan ng volleyball
Yeah,
court.
yeah.
Ako personally. Given the power of the game nowadays.
Yes.
Pero siyempre, boys in the wilderness naman. Tingnan natin how the game will evolve. 24-23. Are we gonna have a seesaw stretch here? They want somebody taller in that middle. They return Liagoso for a ganon. Boy, the coach has so many things to think about at the same time there. Saw you. Yes. That will do it. And that ended with a 25-23 count. Generica just squeezing out the win in that third set, Denise.
And Ellie saw you doing the same thing she did back in the first set, helping out her team. Generica performing again the same way that how they started this match and ending the third 25-23.
That is action from the third set, won by Generica, 25-23.
I think Generica went back to basics. They went back to what they did in the first set. They didn't really force anything. They had a better reception. Rhea Di Bacolangan was able to distribute that ball to all sides of the net. Elisoyed, of course, closing out set number 3. And Generica just one set away from winning their first match here in a Grand Prix. Looking at the attacks, better showing from Marinera. They now lead that skill, that department, but the blocks, the net defense still on the side of Generica, and they are also attacking from that service line. So overall, I mean, mas maganda obviously yung pinakita dito ng Lifesavers.
And they're getting, that is Generica getting some dividends from their import to, seems to be, they're working on her right now. There must be something that's miss with her leg. Yeah.
They've been attending to that since the start of the third, but nevertheless, Elizabeth Bisset Campos, 17 attacks, 17 points right now, at parang walang iniinda. But again, like what I mentioned, start pa lang ng third set, and nilalapit-lapitan na siya ng PT.
Tinitingnan ko lang kung gising na si Renz.
Ready na ba, Renz?
Okay, Renz, go. Go, Renz.
Yes, every time out, mapapansin na madalas minamasa yung left calf muscle ni Generica Ayala, import Elizabeth Bisset Campos. According to their team PT, nakakaramdam daw ito kasi ngayon ng soreness o yung pamamaga. Back to you, 7 Denise.
Paano kumakasya? Hindi, I'm not kidding here. Paano kumakasya pa yung sapatos? Ang kapal na nung medyas. May benda pa, may tal. No, that's... they're trying to manage the swelling, you know.
Yeah.
They can't ice it now, eh.
Tape na lang ng tape yan to hopefully medyo...
Kasi yung ice, tatanggalin mo yung lahat yan, eh, di ba? They need her right now. We keep an eye on that. That must be painful. And Meneses drills it in as we welcome you to the start of the fourth. Now, if you're Marinera, this could be a mind game that they have to play here. More than just volleyball. They've got to believe that they can tie this up.
Definitely. Again, last 3 games, they've always won the second set, but unfortunately couldn't really win anything from there. So They have to prove themselves right now.
And maybe the case might be the same for Generica Ayala that has been winless so far. Jutura not forcing the issue. The ball is still in play. The shot of Rastran handled well. Meneses gets it to hit the floor.
I like how Meneses is changing things up right now. In the third set, Coach Villet Ponce de Leon was saying that she normally attacks where her body is facing. But look at her twist her body. She's facing zone 4, but goes back to zone 1.
You know, Riri has always been the awkward jumper, you know, from college.
Yes.
She's hesitant to go straight up, but she's improved so much of late as her body has matured, simply because we covered her since her college days. As this now stands at 2-1, we're in the 4th set. Generica Ayala rather leading 2-1 in the set count. Set Campos. Orendain, who played a stellar role in the third, continues to play here in the 4th and scores.
Familiar target for Orendain. Again, if you look at the defense formation of Marinerang Pilipina, si Ramirez laging nakapasok waiting for that short ball, and zone 1 will always be open.
And the passing, a problem now. Al-Qaeda getting into an error there. Al-Qaeda, you know, when you dig, you're not supposed to jump really.
Yes, you have to absorb the power of the serve.
And when you go through those drills, it's monotonous, you hate it, but that's because you want it automatic during the game. That's a shot that Arrado handles. Soya taps it over. There's the track down by Hernandez, and this goes nowhere.
It's the last thing you want to see inside the court. 2 players facing that ball, pero magkakatinginan pa. Never take your eyes off the ball.
Generica advances by 4. Will Marinera have another chance at the chase down, which they did in the 3rd? And that's a slap. It's one hand on it. The strike should put up fire. Still manageable. Here comes Di Maculangan, goes to Soyud, the tap, and then it's down and out. And Soyud has done a little of everything.
She's been so unpredictable here. Going for the middle, going for the donut hole, for those long shots.
That is so good. That is
drop
so
shots.
Yeah. And we're going to pause for this timeout. Let's try to sneak in.
Tito, sinong mas maano doon? Ikaw ang nakaharap, siya nakatagilid. Di ba? Nakakapalo ba ng mataas na bola to? Na ganon? Hindi, di ba? Kailangan lang natin mag-communicate. We need to talk inside the court. Tingnan nyo, naghahabol tayo. 5 points na naman yan. Tara!
6-1 is the count here. Generica moving steadily, going into possibly a lead at the first technical timeout turn. Orendain in her serve. Chutura is again in the back row. Not the place she wants to be. To the other end, Bishop Campos knocks it in. Pain or no pain?
Hindi halata. And that's what you want from a player. You want a fighter.
At palagay ko, she wants to win, and mamaya na, bukas na, mamaya iyelo na.
Oo.
Won't exactly be a pleasant experience, but she'll take the win here. That's going to make the pain a little more soothing. But meanwhile, Shutara with the dig. That is foiled, and there's a big track of land in the back row.
You can see the delay of Riri. Not really forcing her swing to go up right away. Konting delay para matimingan si Razlan.
And that will bring us to the first technical timeout of the fourth.
Siya doon. Sino may iwan dito? Ikaw may iwan dito. Ikaw wag ka sumaksak doon. Umano ko dito. Sumuporta tayo. Tara. Bawi ako na. Di ba? Hindi pa nakasan. Hindi pa nakagusto. Tara!
Boy, Marinera will need this woman playing catch-up here. That's what she did against Santa Lucia.
Again, 29 points. 29 points in that last game. 36 in her first 17 attacks right now for Hannah Chutura. Of course, a far cry from what she produced in the last 2 games. But if you want to see the positive side of it, of course, getting a lot more support from the locals here of Marinera Pilipina.
And Mika Guliman taps it cleanly to an unprotected place on the other side. It's been a while since they've scored. It is now Generica at 8, Marinera at 2. We have Guliman all set and on deck to serve. Rado, the wall.
Ganda ng set.
And it's brushed against the block.
Vicent Campos, you know, her attacks aren't really what I would say super powerful, but they're very quick. Na minsan mas mahirap pang, yun ang mas mahirap kunin actually.
Yung tempo niya is at a high rate. Hindi madaling blocking yung game. Aha! Raslan. It's that to bite down the line.
Raslan catching. Menez is standing for the defense.
Gonna be still a big mountain to overcome here for Marinera. Down currently by 6 here in the 4th. Still, just to remind you, we are playing behind closed doors today. Ooh, kasugod, regalo, hindi na umakan. Chutra from the rear, or in the end has the right hand on it. Soyud plays long, but Raslan controls it. Chutra uncorks and gets it to bite.
Getting into that open spot once again.
That'll make our count 9-4 here in the 4th set. Looks long, yes it is. It is not the time for that unwanted uncle to come to the Christmas party, really.
Automatically, Coach Villet Ponce de Leon covers her face and says something to the coaching staff after that.
Something. Uh-oh. Ay, mintis, bukas na bukas.
Wrist ulit yung tumama dito kay Llagoso.
Alam mo si Llagoso, timing niya kailangan improve niya. She has the height, she has the physique for it, but it's the timing. 10-5. Kasi sinong pipigil sa kanya? Ang tangkat niya yun.
Yes.
2 service errors during this critical stretch.
Piling up now for Marinera Pilipina. A while ago, it was just 8-2.
Ang suspecha ko, it's a resistance endurance issue. Chutura. Something they may have to address. Chutura. Yes. And Elizabeth Campos ends up extending herself. And maybe because of the pain, couldn't get to it right away. That's such an exotic hairdo, huh? That's so beautifully laced together.
She can pull it off real well.
Not everybody can, no? Hindi madaling hairdo yan. And that is Tool. Orendain doing an excellent job of tooling that. Gives her team a 6-point lead in this crucial 4th. And they're looking at a possible closure here. Orendain has done well coming off the bench. Negocio gets it to sail in. Ramirez, shooter, fires. Yes, nahihirapan na. Nahihirapan siya tumakbo.
Tsaka ginagawa ni Chutura, she's changing her attacks, but it's always long. Because, again, si Vicent Campos may iniinda na nga. Yung laterals na siguro, it's harder for her. Always easier to move forward. Kaya yun ang iniiwasan ni Chutura.
Correct. Kasi yung paside takes a special effort. it's anatomically correct, so to speak. Nobody walks the pasay. So yun. Yes! It's her night! Yan bang pag tatapik-tapik sa may choreography? Wala naman yung pag-celebrate.
Wala. Parang automatic lang. Good.
Automatic.
I mean,
may
just wanting to tap the shoulder if she does
pero
something good.
Political correctness yan, kailangan lahat tapikin mo. Kasi di ba, magtatampo yung isa pag hindi mo.
Medyo.
Buliman. Ang libero, kawawa lagi.
Pag pagod ka na, gano'n na lang. Parang, hi, uy, gano'n na lang.
Ang libero, nakita ko kay Jack Junel. Hindi niya maabot. Tatalo sa bilis ni Jack. Ito si Ramirez. All dressed up. Nowhere to go. And it is now a 6-point Generica lead in the fourth. Watch this.
It's really that net defense of Generica that has helped them a lot all throughout the match.
So many characters have done that, huh? It's Soyud, Urendain, Meneses. And that is rejected. It's reset. Some confusion as to who should get that ball. And it is out of reach.
I like how Generica would transition. Everybody's scrambling on their side,
but then... Parang bilis nila mag-change into defense.
Yes. And the offense is always quick. It's not like your usual high ball. Kahit na kita mo out of position na lahat ng tao.
Hindi automatic pupunta sa A.
Yes.
Hindi agad open ang diskarte nila. Ito. Aslan gets it to whip against the block. Aslan has been trying to get action to go. He's trying very hard. They're down by 6. Buliman also to shoot. Goes down nicely, and that's out of reach. Rare error by Catarado on the pass. Once more to Arado. Bang!
Ganda ng flight ni Vicente Campos.
Sibat na sibat yung set.
Yeah.
Sibat na sibat yung set. It's a very pointed set as we arrive at the second technical timeout. But watch this first. This is a spear. Boom. Right there.
Balik ka kagad dito. Ikaw sa likodan, pagka-service mo. Ay, hindi. Ikaw na. Dito ka. Magsimula. Nagsusumpal siya dyan eh. Pag nakita mo umiikot siya, o dito. Pero dito ka magsimula, ha? Silipin niyo yung kamay niya. Kailangan tayong umano.
Let's go.
Receive.
Let's go. Skippers!
You know, a name that has rung loud and clear in tonight's battle is the name of Christian Joy Elisoyo.
Elisoyo, 19 points right now. I mean, the way that she started that first set, I remember how well she contributed in terms of the net defense. She got at least 2 blocks in that first set alone. And all that momentum, all the good things that she did in the first set has continued all throughout here in the fourth.
Her investment has paid off. And Generica is moving slowly towards the finish line. But let's see if there's a final kick coming from this very game Marinera squad.
Abel back inside the court. She had 11 points in their game against Santa Lucia.
You wanted to say, sorry.
Yeah, so she was the second highest scorer next to Chutura.
Exactly. But the Achilles heel of this Marinera team seems to be that third set. They lose steam there after winning the second set. But let's see if there's hope that springs eternal here. It's 12 against 16. Rasman has played a decent game here today. nahihirapan na si ano, no?
Yeah, and
Elizabeth.
she's really becoming a target right now.
Because as you pointed out, yung laterals niya are getting to be a problem. I would, you know, it's unfair, but if this was the game, you'd go there.
Oh, yeah.
Fight. But she can still fly. Because she's moving forward.
Bilis ng galaw eh.
And Rhea has been delivering a very well-timed set for her.
Ganda ng porsyento niya kay Vicente Campos. Again, on top of the coverage, I said, she killed, I think, 15 out of the 32 attacks that she had against Santa Lucia. That's almost 42%. For somebody who's new to a team, that's quite high.
Yung tempo niya, iba eh. Yung rhythm niya, iba. Raslan, long. And that'll bring us to 18 against 13. I think on Saturday we bring the PSL to...
Yes.
Wow, napayas yung tayo sa tao. Napayas eh.
Tatlong tumbling lang.
Ako, isang tumbling mamaya. Nasa bahay na ako.
Ayun lang.
Pagsan mo.
Ako matatraffic mamaya.
You were saying?
And Campos again hammering that block, seeing Ramirez in front. If you cannot put that hand over the block, there's basically no control in that net defense.
Ano lang, Rhea, na huwag kang mapa-check outan dito. Goberan mo lang kung hileran to, pabayaan mo kung lumabas yung bola dito, mapa-check dito, okay lang yun. Okay? Sahod ka lang. Okay? Basta commit ka lang. Girls, first attack. First attack. Kailangan tayo makareceive ng maayos. Humingi ka. Bet, humingi ka. Ha? May option ka, Rhea, ha? Hindi lang yung isa option mo. Let's go! Let's go!
You know, the message that will resonate here from Milet Ponce de Leon is commit. Because you can't play tango, you can't play cha-cha, you can't dance. The back step in this game, you gotta commit to the attack.
Yeah, and it can't always be the same thing. I mean, somebody, or they have to do something different right now as we take a look at Judith Abel's
That's why
numbers.
she's back on the floor. They're trying to get some offense from there. Abid, and that's long.
Lucky break there for Abel.
You know, I'm going to put up a team with Cici Rondina and Judith Abel together. It will be so joyful. Every point will be celebrated.
Yeah, their interviews, always something to watch.
Yeah.
Daming mga ano eh.
Quotables.
Yes.
Fan favorite.
Premier.
Problematic. Makatuno. Long.
Way too low for Vicente Campos.
Tsaka mabagal. Mabagal yung set. Pwede pang mag-merienda sa ere nun eh. Ito, kumonsyento na si Sherry. Goes back to the magulangan. You know, if you're playing against Rhea Di Maculangan, may inis ka kasi ngiti lang.
Ngiti na ngiti.
Ano ba problema nito? Ba't ako tinatawanan? But this is just a happy person. Rhea tracks it down. Yes, that's a commitment. Di Maculangan. Oh, yes! But still, kept alive. Shoot to run. And Orindain unable to handle the sizzler.
Chutura just going down the line there. Orindain left in the middle. Couldn't move that right foot.
Generica wants to discuss.
Kasi si Abby na nag-serve eh. Medyo matpatusok eh. Diba, tatlo? O, one stop muna tayo. One stop ha, one stop. Sige, gusto mag-running. Grabe ang kuha sa'yo eh. Okay yun. Okay yun. Ha?
Ano mo, Spiker, ha?
Kaya first aid ka, pwede ka din ha? O, one stop muna tayo. Receive muna. Receive ha. Receive.
Let's go!
Well, they're going to try and create that separation. Sliagoso asking for a different kind of play. But again, it will all boil down to that first ball, to that reception, if they're going to be able to deliver it to the Makulangan.
The score 16-19.
19 is Sabri, 16-16 just served. Play, kaya pa itaas to the back row. The wall is there. Yagos has to kneel down. Shuturam, and the end, better defense this time. Too high, she got it on her fingertips, not on her hand. Shuturam, that stays in.
Shutura squeezing through the gap between the Makulangan and the net.
Squeezing is the operative term there. And they need it because they're down by just 2. Judith Abil. Oo nga, no? Gawa tayo ng all-interview team. Masarap interviewin.
Chang Abi, Cici, Judith Abil.
That is long and out. Generica wants to talk things over.
Receive muna ulit tayo, ha? Receive muna ulit, ha? Start ulit tayo. Start ulit. Pag nasa kabila yung bola, set lang ulit ng ng depensa at block. Isip. Mars, sige, mo lang kunin ka ng block. Pag binigay sa'yo, di paluin mo. Focus muna sa receive. Focus muna sa receive. Let's go.
You know, focus is a very abused word in sports, but perhaps it's timely with the way you want to finish this, because Marinera has suddenly found new life. They're sailing on their second wind here. Excellent stretch that time by Ruslan. Here comes the easy over. Sawyer too close, too tight. And it died in the water. We're going to be tied. Marinera is still alive.
This is what, their third consecutive point? The last time out, Coach Sherwin, or 2 timeouts before, Generica was already at 19. And they've been stuck.
They need a live buoy there. Abil. They're in the lead. What a time for it to erupt. Judith Abil doesn't want to go home yet. You know, in that UE team that struggled, she was one of those bright stars in her college years. Elizabeth gets it on the set. Perfectly done. Tied again at 20.
And there's already Chutra in front of her. They've changed up their defense formation.
Did I just see Villette Ponce de Leon dance a jig there? Just a little, just to shake off the trauma of that big hit by Elizabeth.
On net to serve, Elizabeth Campos.
Such a delight to watch along the sideline. Ramirez, Shutura. Still in play. Oh, and then rejected. It's inside. This is a game that has had everything except an ending.
Again, if you're Generica here, the last thing that you want to do is set it to the outside because Chutra is helping out that side.
Look at Chutra point to the... Oh, that's the third service breakdown that they've had here. This is not a time to be generous. Christmas is fine.
The score 21-all.
Not tonight if you're Marinera. You want to receive. Keep the action going, but if you're Generica, Sige lang, tuloy nyo. We're tied at 21. Fourth set. 2-1 lead by Generica Ayala trying to seal the deal. That is in.
Chutura again, just over and over. That back line has been her sweet spot. All three zones.
You know, this game looks like it's being played in slow motion. Ano? Yung points.
Yeah.
But the passion is there. That will work. Well done.
And then seeing that gap between Goliman and Razlan. Really hammering that ball through.
Yung mga maliliit na puwang na yun. Actually, pag nandiyan ka, kita yan. Pag nasa taas, kita yan. You ask anybody who's played this game, kita yan. Razlan, Chutra says, let's be patient. Try to get it. Meneses. Abil has been a fire starter since returning to the play. Too tight. And net touch. Net touch. And it's outside or a net touch. It's on the antenna.
Hitting that antenna.
Chutra. They're in the lead by 1. Orenberg rejected. Soyed has a hand. Soyed recycles. Abil chases it. Chutra. Yes!
Chutra catching the Makulangan, still standing on, trying to go for her spot at the back.
Set point. Blocked. Arado. It's inside. Yes. That'll bring us to 24-23. Here's the serve. Not exactly the way you wanted it to stop. Here's a regalo, hindi nakita. Ramirez, Chutra. Di Makulangan kneeling down, and that's cleanly scored upon.
Again, it's really the speed of her attack that's helping Generica right now. Alam naman ni Razlan she's trying to again cover that hitting arm, pero bago pa siya makapwesto, tumawid na yung bola.
I know most of you, all of you have not been unable to enter here today, but what a treat wherever you're watching us right now. We're tied at 24 in the fourth. That'll work! Razlan has been a factor.
Razlan breaking that Vicente Campos Meneses block.
Second set point. There is a request from our first referee to clean up a slick portion on the floor. Did you know that in 1988 they tried to have rags on the players and the players would do it themselves? It didn't work out. You know, in that third, is it another? It's the fourth service error. What a time for it to come. It's fatigue really, and tension. Ito yung part ng game, ipasok mo lang. Diba? Sa service, the players talk about this and they'll just say, pasok mo lang.
Ball,
pasok mo lang. Diba? For both sides, huh?
Yes,
For both sides. Meneses. Chutura. Ilang set point? Parang tinatanong ni Chutura, ilang set point pa ba? Pangatlo na to. Soyud, yes!
Soyud seeing Chutura really all the way in the middle, freeing up that sweeper position.
Alam mo, if we ask for a delivery of pizza here, dadating na yan, hindi pa tapos to. Hindi pa tapos to. Bakang ito. Baka pati almusal, orderin natin. Hindi pa tapos to yun, nakita mo. 6 all. Outside. They got a break. They got a very slim break there. And it's the 4th set point. Again, it's set point, number 4. Orinda in.
Oh,
What a way to get back. And why not go there? Porciento, no?
yeah. And that's still favorite target for Vicente Campos. Either go to zone 4 or, again, that middle area of zones 4 and 5.
That cross court is just lethal. That cross court is just deadly. Here comes her serve. Pain and all. Excellent dig up. Chutra says, let's play it nice and easy. Back row strike long.
Walang kapitik-pitik yung
At saka kita mo hirap tumalon. Hirap tumalon. Now, there's going to be a change in the roster for Marinera. This is the 5th set point.
Serving for the set,
Arado, close and tight. Orinda in, rejected. Soyud with 2 hands on it. Orinda in, long!
There was a check. There was a check there.
It's a check ball.
Happened right in front of the referee.
And what the, oh boy. They were just about ready to explode and celebrate. And another set point saved by Generica. That's 5 they've saved. Tama, 5. From 24. Sige na, pizza na tayo. I brought you 6 times already to set point. Ladies, please close it, Chutura seems to be saying.
Ganda ng bitin ni Chutura.
Ano? Kala mo sa taas kukunin eh. Nice and easy. That's all you want. Orinda in. It is done! It is done, but there's some contention. It is going to bring us to a 5th set. They could not close the doors to 5 sets today.
Marinera Pilipina.
I thought we were not going to allow Noel Zarate to come in, but he's somewhere here, and we are here at 5 sets.
A first win waiting for these 2 teams. Either Marinera Pilipina or Generica will finally get an elusive W here in the 3rd game as they take it to the 5th set. And here are the highlights of our 4th with Hannah Chutra, of course, leading the way for Marinera Pilipina, and Elizabeth Vicente Campos nursing that left leg, but still fighting through it, as we see locals from the side of Generika and as well as Marinera Pilipina really stepping up, supporting their imports again as they extend, or as they fight through that extended fourth set that ended at 30-28, 34 minutes of action. And as we saw, it was Generika still on top in terms of their attacks in their blocks, but Marinera Pilipina really solid from the service line, 5 service aces as compared to just 1 from Generika. And we also how that turned out, kung gaano kalaki yung epekto noon. Generika lost their reception. In turn, they couldn't really set up a good offense. They became very predictable. And again, Hannah Chutra on your screen, 28 big points for the Lady Skippers. She had 36 in that first game, and 29 in the last Saturday against Santa Lucia. So very consistent, as well as Elizabeth Vicente Campos. Numbers on your screen. Again, nursing that leg. Judith Abel, what a timely way to get back into this court, really helping out in that fourth set. Riri Meneses, of course, one player that could definitely help out that net defense again, as well as Mika Goliman and Rhea de Macolangan, expected to, of course, facilitate and show us more plays in the coming this final set for Generika.
And this will, and the buzz in the on the sideline of Marinera. Boy, we've reached the fourth set. Reached the fourth set. We've gone beyond the fourth set now. Boy, they saved. They had 6 chances to close it. They finally nailed it on the 6th and final. It'll be a race to 15. Maiksi lang itong 5th set, as you all know. At the 8-point mark, will change sides. The scorer's table making sure that the rotation is clean and clear. Position yan.
Too many players inside for Generika.
Yeah, I think there's some. They need to make a change. Kung minsan nagkakamali sulat ng number, eh. That happens. You know, we've tried, I know the world has tried to automate that already, but iba pa rin yung sinusulat, eh. So here we go. So ito, mabilis lang ito. Itong race to 50. You've got to be perfect in your serves here more than anything. Ang daming service error pa rin, ano, nung fourth set. Marinera could have lost that because of their miscues on the service. Let's go. 5th and final set. Winner here goes home with their first W for the tournament. For Marinera, first W in 23 previous tries. And that is the first point of the final set.
Chutra just making everybody move in that last attack.
I think she wants to celebrate her birthday with in a big way. Didn't look that way in the 3rd set. In fact, for a big part of that 4th as well. But we're speaking too soon now. Or at the end, she's been playing well. Abel has been a game changer coming off the bench. Oh, but Soyuda still the hot hand.
Soyuda has really been something else in this match. Hindi siya maabutan ni Chutra.
Iba rin ang tempo ni Eli. Iba rin yung timing niya. This game is all about rhythm and timing. Muntik na hindi abutan. Daliri na lang lumami na, and that's off the block. We find Generika jumping out in front by 1-2-1.
And you can see that was really the intention, the way she turned her body.
Parang, oh, mabablock ako. Isayaw ko ng konti rito. I'm gonna whisk it against them. 2-1 lead by the Lifesavers. And just stay alive and keep this pesky Marinera squad at bay. Keep them at sea. Don't bring them to land, and that is way outside. We're tied.
Serving for the Lady Skippers, Lika Buliman.
Must be hard to serve pagka ganyan yung game. Concentration is challenged. You're breathing hard, your heart is pumping. This woman is just simply unstoppable.
Good day, bawat. Always something positive. Kung nagkamali, get that point right away. Just erase that error right away.
Generica in front by a point. Ramirez goes back door. You know, Aslan has just been there.
She's actually very consistent in this match.
Yes, just there. Bang. Full swing. Squared up a 3.
The score 3-all.
Soyud. Aslan has it. Chutura fires and connects. 4-3 tally here. Marinera inching slightly forward.
Again, this might be a question of the win na yung pagod factor na dito because mataas naman yung bola eh. Again, those petty errors. Kung hindi ka masyadong pagod, the focus is there, the breathing is right. Normally, you don't just commit those kinds of petty errors.
And it's a scene repeated in many sports.
Yes.
Pag yung pagod ka na, when you can't shoot your free throws properly, can't kick properly. Fatigue is a factor always. That's blocked, and the door is sealed. That's a closed door. And Generica advances by 1. Coaches earning their keep here, working hard here tonight. They want to go home with a W. That's long. Good eye. It was over the shoulder of Judith, which is normally your cue to say it's going out. As long as you're close to the baseline, ha?
As long as you're in the right position.
Kasi kung masyado ka nasa harap, biglang,
Pasok din.
over the shoulder nga. Hindi yan, no? Kailangan nasa dulo ka. She's just been the source of their points. Para siyang reservoir. Oh? Pag wala ng gasolina, punta tayo ron. Hernandez. Maiba naman. Tama yung ginawa ni Ramirez. On 2. That punches through. And Generica takes a 2-point lead.
But then making the obvious choice of going down the line. I mean, look who's guarding cross court. Kasugod and Chutura.
Chutura. Orendain.
Same thing. Again, if you cannot put your hand over that net, there's basically no control. Gagawing target yan.
And we'll change sides. It's 8-5 in favor of Generica Ayala. Now, you gotta draw out deep inside. You gotta go inside here more than anywhere else. Flor Marinera. And same thing, actually, for Generica. But what a performer under pressure Elizabeth Campos has been. We have a joust, a battle at the net. Oh, quick break. That could be the turning point.
Yeah, lucky break there for Generica. Chutura taking her eyes off the ball. Couldn't react quick enough.
buto natin dito sa kamay. Hindi basta lang natin tinataas yung kamay natin. Okay? Mababa ang daan ng bola, hindi naman umiibabaw eh, di ba? First ball, first attack. Kailangan natin maka-offensa. Ayos lang. Sa harapan si Hana. Gamitin natin. Play mo ha. Tara ha. Tara, Rhea. Let's go.
Basic blocking skill that you have to remember. Hindi to pataasan ng talon. May papaunahang madukot yung bola from the other side. At yun yung reminders lang ni Coach Villet.
As we always say, blocking is timing and technique.
Look at those numbers from Ellie Soyud. 23 points, 16 attacks, 5 blocks, 2 aces. Again, her numbers keep on
piling up,
rising. Yes.
That's one perfectly done. She has a bullet in that arm. She has a gun chamber, really.
It's the best chance for Marinera here as
yes.
Shutra is in front.
Orendain has been the key factor in points that matter in this 5th set.
Siya yung porsyento, siya yung percentage spiker dito.
Kasi alam nila hindi rin makatalo na masyado si Elizabeth eh. But Orendain still has the hops eh. Veterano din yun. Serve. Shutra. Ooh. Stepping into it. Was not squared to dig.
I expect that ball to just go back to Shutra again and again.
Why not? Diba?
Ay niya ibabawan kahit sinong blockers dito ng Generica.
Now, ngayon lalo na naghahabol ka eh, no?
Oh yeah.
Orendain. Fernandez. Campos gets to it. Orendain blocked. Arado, excellent coverage. Liberos hard at work. This could take a while. Soyud. Fernandez. This is not for the faint-hearted, I tell you. Tense passing here. Orendain rejected. Yes.
Baba nung kamay, biglang bumagsak yung kamay ni Orendain. Possibly wanting to go down the line.
Thinking of too many things at the same time yun eh. Yung ganun. Do I go down the line? Do I brush it against the block? Do I slam it against them? Nice set. Hernandez is there. And Raslan went under the ball. She went under the ball.
Saka yung giggle, kitang-kita. Ang baba din ng kamay ni Raslan.
Sometimes in your wholehearted desire to score the points, you mess it up. Not because you want to, but it just happens. 11-8. Abil. Shutra rejected. Regalo! Regalo!
Again, it all boils down to that net defense, giving them this opportunity.
You know what? I don't want to be a party pooper, but sad day in volleyball when they took away that little taunt that you can do. Really, really. I'm just being honest here. But let's focus on this one.
Manda naman
Let's
tayo.
listen it.
Hindi tayo pwede gumanyan-ganyan lang dyan. Kailangan ko tira. Diin. Okay, coach. Hindi tayo pwede ganyan-ganyan lang eh. Nakita nyo yung depensa nila? Gumagalaw? Eh kung babagalan natin yung bola natin, ngayon makukuha at makukuha yan. Kung bibigyan mo to dito, huwag mo itong bigyan ng bitin. Gusto ba yan ng bitin? Ano din yung dalawang blocker eh? Let's go! Let's go! Skipper!
I will play for this woman. Really, di ba? Yung ganun, di ba? Wake you up.
Hindi dapat talaga eh. Because I think that's what's missing from Marinera, yung feistiness. Nawala eh, naubos.
And partly fatigue, partly tension.
Pero nawala eh. So
Nawala.
they need to bring that back.
Yung angas, ano,
Yes.
yung kagat. it's a slow uphill climb now. You're down by 3. But Generica, if you're smart, you want to end it now. Because you don't want to give this Marinera team a chance. Looked long, but she was committed to it already. Down the middle! Meneses all pumped up.
Maganda pa dun. It's not like she was alone atop.
Oh, good point, yes. Can't take nothing away from Generica here. They're clawing and scratching to win this. I want to get them to the W column. Check ball, claro. There are 2 ways of looking at this from the Marinera perspective. If they win here, manage to squeeze out a win, it's the start of a new chapter in their history. But, you know, another loss, another part of the learning curve. Maybe not tonight. We don't know yet. Makulangan. And that's going to stay there. Still not yet over. Some coaches will say, wala namang 4 points na palo eh. 1 point at a time. Ivy Remulla comes in. Naman volleyball, napaka-proper. Bawal pumasok. Mas mahigpit pa sa immigration. Now a timeout has been requested. Let's give it to them.
Dito na si Elizabeth. Focus siya sa atake. Ikaw nagsiserve ito, di ba?
Easy lang.
Dalawa lang kayo magre-receive.
Sige po.
Okay, dito ang receive natin ha. Dito ha. Para kahit kanino kasi, kahit kayo na may ibigay, okay lang. Basta makuha lang natin yung block. First attack tayo, so gitna ha.
Talaga ha.
Okay. Dalawa lang ha, dalawa. You still here ha, no receive ha. Okay, let's go.
Habulin si Riri dyan, ha?
Renz can confirm this. Bisette Campos probably doesn't speak any English, no? A little.
Yeah, very
But
little.
my suspicion when this tournament is over, her Filipino will be better than her English.
Well, she speaks Spanish, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of similarities in our
Yeah.
words.
Tell Meneses to do the un-poco. In the meantime, Marinera still alive and kicking. Judith Abel has no care in the world, really. Ivy Remulla serving.
Oh, wow.
That is long, and we now get a 13 all. Here we go again.
3 attack errors
Yes.
from Generica.
Gigil eh, no? Gigil.
Gigil na.
Here we go. Race to the match point.
Sabi siya, hingi ng bola, spike. Hingi ng bola, spike. Okay? Okay na, ganun pa rin ang play natin. Receive muna natin. Pag walang receive, react agad. Follow, cover. Okay?
Huwag natin pakuwalan.
Oh, let's go.
Una tayo.
Generica!
Ayan lang.
Ito, Denise, anybody's game.
Oh, yeah.
It's come down to any. It looked like it was already Generica, you know, but they had, as you mentioned, 3 attack errors, you know. Here, regardless of what side you're on, you need perfect volleyball at this point, both defensively and offensively. Here we go. Oh, we are at match point.
You know what stinks? Nung 13-10 pa lang in favor of Generica, Coach Sherwin has been talking about reception. Wala siya ibang Pinoy tawag masyado. Just that first ball.
This sails down. It's Campos. No! It's not going to be Marinera celebrating yet. We're tied at 14. oh, so close for Marinera. No? They could actually taste it. No?
Yeah, we saw that in the past set.
But,
Six
you know,
extensions, 30-28.
Elizabeth may not care about that at all, you know. Shutura wants to fire this one in, or in the in is there. Elizabeth brings them to match point. Match point, I'm sorry. It's match point. Both teams battling for match point.
Campos squeezing through that gap given to her.
Shutura. This is blocked, but Elizabeth gets to it. She fires, and it's done, and over.
What a way to end the match. Vicente Campos, again, just using the blockers, fighting through that pain. She's been nursing it since the start of the fourth.
And the chances were presented to both squads. Marinera had a match point, but could not finish because Elizabeth Campos not interested in the celebration of Marinera. A 5-set classic unfolding here behind closed doors at the Grand Prix. So in behalf of Denise Tan and Lorenzo and Kiko Sarmenta here saying thank you for joining us. A big win by Generica Ayala in 5 sets. You've been watching the Grand Prix 2020 of the Philippines Superliga.